Hey everyone, welcome back to Redbanditracing. Welcome back to the channel. We're at our usual spot for an unboxing. We've wanted for a couple of years now. I don't know why we put it off so long. The information that we've kind of been looking at and rumors, we decided just to grab it and pick it up and do an unboxing. So let's check it out. We got the fastest RC that you can buy out of the box. We got the Traxxas XO-1. This car does 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds and 0 to 100 in 4.9 seconds. Now, obviously, we're not going to be testing that kind of speed, but we will be testing the top speed. In this video, we're going to do the unboxing. We're going to check it out for the first time. We're going to give it a little bit of a rip around the parking lot, but stay tuned for the next video where we will put the GNSS analyzer on it and test the top speed. Now, this does come with the new high downforce wing, the new steel bell crank, heavy duty suspension arms, and they went ahead and vented the body to help correct a lot of the issues from the previous version. All right guys, so at the time of filming this video, we did get green, but the green and the blue weren't available from Traxxas, so we got this from A-Main. The orange and the red are unavailable. We were gonna talk about that because that's why we bought this car. All right, let's get this unboxed so we can really check it out and go over some of the small specs. Ooh, that is definitely a big car. We gotta get strapped to the bottom there. Yeah, I think it's got zip ties holding it down. Yep. All right, let's pop this body off. Yeah, the clips, from what I hear on the back, are kind of a pain because they're under the wing. All right. Let's check out the body. That is actually a pretty clean looking body. Really clean. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to reinforce this, but I might do a little bit of reinforcing with some Gorilla Tape. As you guys can see, that's the body vent that everyone was talking about. So that releases a lot of the air from under the car, keeps the car from flipping over. Look at this high downforce wing. Look how big that wing is. Now that wing is supposed to help keep a lot of downforce when you have the low speed gear in, and it helps the handling tremendously. So we're going to test that out. And here it is. This is actually a lot bigger than I remember seeing it. These tires are massive. Look at the suspension travel on this. There's not much. The bottom of the car, you got that aluminum plate on it. That looks really nice. A lot of air channeling going on here. Now right here, they put a little slot here, so it goes up and actually vents the motor. So you can still put a fan on this, but I bet you at high speed, that does a great job. All right guys, look at that battery tray. I kind of like that battery tray system. Pops up, pulls out, put the battery in, snaps down. That's actually really secure. The only thing I can see is this taking a hard impact. No, you'd have to pull it really hard that way to get that to come out. So that's actually a really nice battery tray system. I like how they did all that. The back tires are really, really big. As you guys can see, the back tires are definitely bigger than the front. If you guys can see that right there. So you can't swap them in and out. Now, I remember seeing pictures of the old model and the tires used to rub right here. It was really, really close. As you guys can see right there, they gave it a little bit more room. I guess that's gonna be a real test with the expansion of the tire, if that actually does rub. All right, so before we get into all the specs, let's go ahead and do a proper unboxing and see what it comes with. All right, so in here, you got your TQI remote. Now, of course, with your TQI remote, they do go ahead and include the Traxxas Link. I'm really happy that they did that, but they only did it for a certain reason, and that's because you have to unlock the 100 miles an hour. I've always said this in the past, if you're spending any more than $500 on one of these cars, especially like an X-Max up to 1,000, they should include this. They should include the Link automatically. All right, so in the bag, right here we have our high-speed gear. That is a massive, massive pinion. Extra clips. I'm glad they supplied extra clips. Here you got your typical tools. They give you a lot of tools for this one, which is really great. I don't like using the plastic one. We brought our own because this is a little bit short. I like when they're just a little bit longer.
That's what she said.
So you can actually get in there and get the wheels off. But we have a bunch of these, so we'll go ahead and keep that around. Now here's the high-speed wing. This is the wing that you're going to put on when you're doing 100 miles an hour. And the purpose of this is because this wing right here gives you a lot of downforce. So when you're going around the street, this is going to help keep the car down and keep you in control. You don't want to do high speed with this because creates too much downforce at those top speeds, and that's definitely going to cause the car to flip. Whereas this keeps the car under control, but it lets air pass it. So this is for the high speed. We have our Castle driver's guide, warranty card, some stickers. Actually, I kind of like those. Look at that. It's like carbon fiber Traxxas. Kind of like that. Kind of like the stickers too. I like the way that they did that. You got some guides, got your parts book, some more options for batteries and chargers, and getting started with your XO-1. This is the manual. So this is gonna be a good thing to check out because you're gonna want to read some of this, especially when it pertains to the high speed and a lot of the suspension settings. All right, so what we're gonna do in this video is we're gonna go over some of the specs. We're not gonna go over it too much. We're gonna take it for a little test rip, see how it handles, see how it performs, and then in a later video, we're gonna start hitting those top speeds and see what this thing does out of the box and what it does with that 34 tooth pinion. As you can see, it comes with GTR shocks. Front and rear shock towers are made from 6061 T6 aluminum. The chassis brace is made from dark titanium 6061 T6 aluminum. This thing is equipped with Castle Creations Mamba Monster ESC and a Traxxas Big Block 1650 kV. As always, you got the 2075 servo, steel CV axles equipped with dust boots. You got the snap lock battery trays. This does run on 6S, so you can run dual 3S lipos. I absolutely love the body design. The supercar body and the pro graphics look amazing. 2.8-inch slicks, rated for 118 miles per hour. The overall length of this car is 27 inches, 13 inches wide, and 5 inches tall. This car truly looks amazing. All right, so I got batteries on the remote. Let's go ahead and put these batteries in. Let's see how well these go in. Pop these guys off. Yeah, I'll probably have to turn it around. Ooh, that's really close to the motor. Actually, I think that'll be okay. We'll have to test that because that servo horn right there on the servo, really close to that wire. But if you turn it around, that's right behind the motor. But I kind of trust that better there than I do right there. So this is probably where we're going to leave it. Yeah, that's really close, but that works. Let's go ahead and strap these in. Now, I did see that you can put different battery tray mounts in if you have different, maybe higher batteries. So that's really nice. Let's go and plug this in, make sure everything's good. Is that capacitor charging up? Let's turn it on. And there's your 2075 servo. We're definitely gonna have to replace that servo. I don't know why Traxxas keeps putting that 2075 in. I think it's extremely weak, and for a car like this, you want something with good steering. But we're gonna test it out, see how it goes. Everything else looks good. Let's throw the body on. Do I keep messing the front right there? Because this has to go over the back. This has to go over the back like that. Same thing with the front. The front has to go under that front splitter. Ooh, yeah, that turning's not really nice. Let me turn the TSM off. That did help a little bit. Ooh, it definitely darty. Really darty. Ooh, lost steering. Let's see if I can do that again. Okay, right there. So at, I want to say if that's 50, maybe 5% to 10%. Oh, there's the steering. And there goes the steering. Now, if I move it a little bit, steering comes back. So we had the same problem with that on the e-Revo, where you would adjust a little bit and it would do all kinds of weird things. So I'm wondering if this thing has an update to maybe fix that. So I'm gonna have to check on that because, you know, you definitely don't want that. But even on this car, from what I've heard, you don't even want 50%. You want around 30%, somewhere around 30%, because otherwise you lose that steering ability. And on this car, you really need that steering ability. These tires warmed up a little bit. A lot of acceleration. Little dust trail behind it. Ooh, a lot of traction right there. I noticed at lower speeds, like right here, it's really darty and you gotta be really careful, but the faster you go, the more it's controllable. There's not much ground clearance on this. This thing is almost touching the ground. But as you can see from the bottom and all the little rocks I'm picking up, ooh, tires are nice and warm. But yeah, you're gonna scrape this up, hit a little rock right there. That's gonna be completely normal. But you know, this thing is so close to the ground and it gives so much more downforce. I don't know why that ESC keeps beeping. That castle system. Ooh, this thing does fly. It's crazy. The faster you go, the more stable it is. All right, let's take the body off. This is what everyone's talking about in the back. I kind of don't like where the pins are because you can get it like pinching with your fingers right there. But it would have been nice if they put it maybe closer to the back. I mean, this thing has been around for, I want to say since 2012. So I think 2012, because I remember seeing the first model. Ooh, look at all the rocks. I mean, it would be nice to see them go ahead and revamp this a little bit and put a clipless body on it. Something that clips down on the sides. I think they could easily do something like that and still keep it running really well. Definitely got a little dirty here. Hate when a new car gets dirty, but tires are warm and they get a little tacky. They actually do get a little tacky. This thing has a lot of grip at high speeds. So when we go out and we take it for that first real rip, definitely get the tires nice and hot, and let's see how controllable this really is. So again, guys, this is $749.95. Now, Traxxas, I'm not sure at the time of this video comes out if those models will be available, but currently you can only, guys, I think I just saw some ash. Yeah, I just saw some ash. So if you guys don't know, out here in California, we got that the Guilford, I think it's Guilford, the Guilford fire going on. It's actually pretty close to us, so I am seeing a little bit of ash falling, so that's really unfortunate. The on-off switch I found kind of interesting because I know the last time, besides maybe like the Gorgons, even the Losi Nitro has an actual on and off switch to turn this off. You were typically using just a push button, so I kind of like how they just made a simple switch. The reason why we got this is because there was some rumors out there that 2025 was going to be the last year for the XO-1. It's kind of hard to believe that because Traxxas is considered the fastest name in radio control. What gives them that name is this car. Because right now there's a bunch of cars out there that do 70. There's quite a few out there from Armament that do 80. And I'm pretty sure there's some other brands I'm not mentioning that do somewhere around those speeds. Traxxas was the first one to produce a ready-to-run RC car that does 100 miles an hour. I can't see them discontinuing this line. I'm hoping that the reason why those colors aren't available is because maybe they're revamping it or they're just not keeping a lot of stock on it, but they're not getting rid of it. I was starting to get a little bit worried, so we pulled the trigger on buying it because this used to come in white. White is no longer available. I don't know when the last time I even saw a white one available, but they do offer those four colors. They offer a red, orange, blue, and green. As of right now, I only saw the two colors available, and anytime I see that, it usually tells me they're doing something behind the scenes or they're not doing anything and it gets people talking and it gets rumors started. So That's why I picked it up. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want this to be the LMT all over again, where I was about to buy the 8th scale LMT Gravedigger and then it was gone. All right guys, well that'll do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We will be putting the high-speed gear in, unlocking 100 miles an hour, and do some speed runs and see what kind of top speeds we get. We may not be going for 100 miles an hour right off the bat, but I want to get a feel for it, because the last thing you want to do is try and get 80, 90 miles an hour and then wreck this thing. So also stay tuned. We're going to be doing some diff services on this, see what kind of fluid's in it, see if they're filled up. The shocks, we're going to check the shock fluid and do a little bit of maintenance on this, because that's the first thing you should always do before running a car. But we like to run them out of the box for you guys to see what they do and their quality control. So far this thing looks great, everything looks great, everything rides great. This thing is so smooth and has such good throttle. That big pinion is going to change this dramatically. So I hope you guys like this. Stay tuned for more videos. We're going to bring the Typhon out with it later on, and we're going to see what this thing can do against some of the other top cars. Stay tuned for another unboxing. You guys wanted another basher on the channel. For you guys who voted on the community post, thank you. We listened. We will get another basher. Not sure which one, but we are getting another basher, so stay tuned for another unboxing. All right guys, make sure you guys check out our Patreon page. It really helps out the channel. Check out our other social media platforms. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. We'll see you guys on the next one.